So those are really the three main items. And with the conditional use permit, we submitted the application, the initial application to the city requesting the neighborhood meeting as far as what we need to do to tell everybody what we're requesting, get any concerns you may have. Some of the main criteria for the conditional use permit is to address the compatibility and the potential noise generated to the use. From a compatibility standpoint, this is a grocery store. It's been in the neighborhood for years now, and so we're not changing that. It's just a grocery store. We're not changing the size, the parking. In terms of noise, potential noise generators, what we've identified, we'll leave that just so we'll wait to see. There's really associated with this just a couple items that would have potential generating noise, and what we're trying to show is how that would be minimized to see what the natural settings are there. And we're not changing anything from what it was. You've got the local deliveries with the trucks, the trash compactor, which is located on the south side of the building, and the outdoor storage area where employees will be bringing things out occasionally in the evening. And these really focus on the green on the screen. This is our site. This one's looking at properties to the north. This one's looking at properties to the south. The main threshold for the CUP is if you have residential property within 500 feet. And so what we've done here, if you can see, this is the areas shaded in blue, which are a little hard to see, are the residential properties within 500 feet of the site. Straight up here and then down below the store. There's these apartment complexes to the south. Those are actually in a commercial zone.
So we don't count?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that we've shown that as a residential use, and we've shown that the threshold is a residential use in a residential property. Technically, if you were the only residential use on a and there weren't any residential properties, the CUP wouldn't even be required. But what we're showing is that it's the screening that's there with the existing trees and vegetation, and what we're showing is the distance from the site and what potential issues are, and how that's really being mitigated.
Is that why the houses were foreclosed on across the street as well? Does that have anything to do with this, or?
No.
We're leasing the site.
Not just convenient? Not just convenient?
There's a whole area will go bankrupt eventually anyway.
These properties, actually, the properties right across the street are commercially zoned. So I believe there's a couple residential properties on the north as well, but in a commercial zone. But there are a couple residential homes in that area.
Yeah, one of those homes my daughter's running to school lives in, and it's being foreclosed on in the state of Florida.
Okay. So, again, what we've shown here is the distance to these properties. The closest ones are about 250 feet away. There is a creek that runs south of our site along Apple Way with a lot of trees and vegetation in that area that really provides a lot of screening both visually and from the noise standpoint.
Does that creek feed into your main water system?
Eventually the creek gets to the Phantom. That's right.
No, it doesn't go in the channel. It goes in the Beaverton Creek.
Okay. The creek, a stormwater facility was designed with the existing development when we went in the mid-90s. But that creek goes to it. The other thing I wanted to point out that's shown on this graphic here, the properties to the north sit roughly 15 to 20 feet higher than the activities to our south. Plus the fact that the building is essentially blocking them. You got the highway in between, and the distance and the height elevation is really, not much impact that would be noticed from any of that. So, I think with that, that's really, the main component of what we're showing and what we're wanting to talk to you about. So,
what constitutes a special event? Did you have any Black Friday?
No. It's a grocery store. It's a very little event. If they were having a big sale on something, if they were starting something.
This is the first time that we've brought neighborhood market to the West Coast, and we're just thrilled.
What are the store hours going to be?
They will right now be 7 to 10.
7 to 7?
7 to 10. Yes, and we won't be operating, we're not asking for CUP to operate 24/7. We're asking for CUP only to serve the intent store ourselves.
If other stores are open from 7 to 10 p.m. presently,
Yes.
like Walgreens is open until 10 p.m.
They use CUP.
Do they have a CUP?
We've been told by the city that Fred Meyer and Safeway have CUPs, and that's all they have.
But I asked about Walgreens.
That's what the city told us.
If they don't have the CUP, are they able to manage the opening and closing of their facilities?
I don't know. My understanding.
Walgreens be out of business if they don't have it?
So the zoning is the CS zoning, commercial services. Any commercial use in that zoning, if you're within 500 feet residential, if you operate after 10 p.m. or before 7 a.m., and that's not even open to the public, like the activity we're asking for now, requires a conditional use permit. I don't know exactly where the Walgreens is you're talking about. Is there?
It's right on Beaverton Highway, about
If it's
half a
further-
mile north of
Further
the, half a mile east of the area.
So technically, the Beaverton city limits stop in county around Laurelwood. It's basically stop at Laurelwood.
No,
and you get in Washington County.
no, sorry, I know they live there, but it's not.
It's probably a Beaverton address, but it's technically in Washington County. And so they may have a different zoning. But the point is that the commercial, the Beaverton requirement is for the specific zone. So if there's commercial use in that zone, you're within 500 feet.
So why can't the store be stopped during normal business hours, all the other ones that are non-use?
You know, this is typical for a grocery store. They do a lot of the stocking at night. Once it closes down, they need to clean the store, they need to restock the shelves.
But
A lot
why
of
can't
times
that
that's
stop
done.
be done during the day?
Mostly it's a customer convenience store. Do the main services. and
What we're asking for is the exact same as some of our competitors. They operate 24/7 within the same zone.
They don't have apartments right next to them.
No.
They have residential, they have to go get a CUP the same way we do because they fall in that zone.
Considering we all live in the neighborhoods, we kind of know where
Apartments right next to them. It is not quiet over there. I can hear the freaking bus pull up on Appleway, and that's not very loud. So when you say trash compactor ability to go at whatever time, that's not going to be quiet, and people are sleeping. Clearly, the landlord doesn't really care about our
No,
comfort.
and the amount of traffic is gonna be substantially more than anything that Zupan's ever saw, because every other business on that street will be closed.
It's not all fair traffic on Elmdale Highway. It's just what I hear sirens all the time. I see broken glass on the street all the time.
Can I ask a question about the delivery truck?
Yeah, and I have a question about the will the trucks access this area and get Beaverton Northville Highway and then Laurelwood, or they can come to the area? Could we,
The trucks we're asking about here are local delivery trucks, so most of them are bread stores, they're not necessarily owned by Walmart. But they would, I would imagine they'd be coming down Beaverton Hillside Highway, Laurelwood, and into the site, the main driveway.
They're not the semis, they're like the front.
What prevents the semis is
Ours would not come during.
during the day, we'll watch.
You have that in writing?
See,
once you let it happen, it's good.
See, that, one of the issues, okay, I have a lot of history about some of this. One of the reasons why things close at 10 o'clock is because we had to go to the 9th District Court over the Fantasy Golf video, the Gentleman's Club, the hookah. If we start allowing the businesses to stay open and do whatever they want to do after 10 o'clock, then what we end up is allowing other businesses to go back and say, okay, we want to have this, we want to have our business open too. And that just negates all what Beaverton has done to try to keep this under control. And having lived here for a while, Zupans, they got their work done when they were there. They didn't work at night. And so I don't understand why you think that your business deserves different treatment than all the other businesses that have been required to close at 10 o'clock in that zone.
This is our landlords, all that.
I'm down in the Kaiser, and,
You rent these guys?
so we have two shopping centers. We've got the, old Zupan Center, which we're talking about tonight, and we have the Pesto Center, which is down here. We have 4 apartment complexes around town, one of which is the Crescent Hill Crescent Hill apartment complex down here. So Zupan was here for 13 years, and they did have activities like Walmart is requesting going on at night. And I definitely hear your concerns, because we live in the neighborhood too, and the hookah lounge and the belly dancing and all that stuff is a real issue. So, and the stuff up on Canyon, you know, luckily the neighborhood shut down I think there was a head shop that wanted to go in there or something, or a strip joint. So we definitely
The
hear
economy shut it down.
yeah. And what we're talking about tonight is non-open to the public hours. So Zupans, when they were there, would bring in trucks during the night to stock or to move inventory out of that store into other stores. And they would have people in there doing inventory and shelving. And we lived in the building right here with our family for 5 months while we were remodeling, and was here once in a while, on the floating dock over here at night. So you have that kind of activity going on. And so that's the kind of activity we're talking about tonight. Not open to the public or anything that some other business could say, hey, they're open to the public, why can't we open our food lounge to the public after 10 o'clock? So I think that's the difference between the two things.
Before we go any farther, I want to make a couple things. I want to make sure that we get recognized before we talk, so that you keep the dialogue and keep going. There are 2 things I want to make sure that you can do, that you're aware of, because we have gone through this process before. What you need to do then is you need to ask a specific question again. I don't want to share. I need to be as impartial as we can. A couple things that happened with this position in the hookah lounge was there was definitely concern about the traffic, about the noise, and about the information. Those are things that you would specifically ask the planning commission during the public hearing, or you can enter into a dialogue, and we'll have to do that part after the meeting. Specifically, what are you going to do to address the noise, and this is an issue. What we found in the past is that it's much easier for you to address a specific issue than kind of, well, what's going to happen with traffic. There's a traffic issue, and there's a noise issue is what I'm hearing, and the best way to do it is to address those as specific issues. The other piece of that with regards to what was going on with the city, and again, this is not, if you ask the city who has a special use permit at this time, they cannot furnish you all of that information. They're not sure they're open 24/7. That question already came up in an email that was asked before. The thing that you can do is if you see a business and you believe that they're open past the hours, whether it is for business or non-business purposes only, you can send that to George Fetcher of Code Compliance, and you can say, these people are operating after 12 o'clock or after 10 p.m. What's the deal? They will then go back and look, does this person have a conditional use permit, and at that point indicate it. So with regards to some of the other businesses, if there is an issue and you are concerned about that, code enforcement can go in there and definitely say these people are or not in the city limits, these people do or do not have a conditional use permit, and that will take care of it. That's the best place to start that dialogue. So it is not to take that away from here. What you need to do is you need to address specific issues, and what I'm hearing, again, is you want to make sure you address what's going on about traffic and what's going on about noise. And with those 2 in mind, I'd like to go on to another subject unless you have a different piece. So the lady in the blue, and then Phil will go to you.